Hello, Kendall from Reddit Whiskey with a recap of my second attack from this war, and this was a tricky base, and I liked the plan I had. I executed poorly. In the end, my heroes kind of brute forced this base, and that's the reason I got the 3 star. I had some fairly poor execution, and had he had higher level walls, if these hadn't been purple walls and skulls, if this had been Legos, there's no way I would have 3 starred. But I think the plan was okay, and this is, as I said, it was a tricky base, and the reason it was tricky was there is a ton of potential double giant bomb possibilities. There's a spot here, there's a spot here, there's a spot here, there's a spot here. I guess there's a weak spot that could have been running that direction. There's a spot here, and then finally there's a spot here. So lots of different potential double giant bomb locations. So, before you can do a hog attack, you've got to eliminate as many of them as possible so that you can use hog pathing to remove the final one, so you don't have to do that. And my plan was I was going to start by removing these two here on the side. So what I was going to do was I was going to send in a single giant followed by 3 hogs. And what that would do is the 3 hogs would take out the wizard tower, and I'd probably get one that bounces that way. And if there had been a double giant bomb here, it would have gone over one of them, and I'd have popped one of the set. And then I'm going to do basically the exact same thing down here. I'm going to send 1 giant followed by 3 hogs, and that would do the exact same thing down here. This is the first of the executional errors I made. I forgot to send the giant. I sent 4 hogs instead of a giant and 3 hogs, and that ends up costing me a couple hogs. So, but we'll show that on the replay. From there, that was also hopefully down here, and we'll show you the clan castle radius. That was hopefully also going to get the clan castle pull. You can see this is actually a really tough clan castle pull also. All of these defenses are kind of right on the edge. Maybe you could have with a couple hogs here, but you've got that expo that's pretty close. So that was the plan, was that they take this out. You probably have 1 or 2 of them that went this way, hopefully one that pathed out that way, and that would be enough to get the clan castle pull. So from there, the plan was I was going to do, normal kill squad over here in the corner, barbarians, 2 witches, staggered, archer queen, 2 wizards, and then from there I was going to send a golem in this direction, followed by a wizard here to break the trash ring, a wizard over here on the army camp to break a trash ring, 2 wall breakers to get in there, followed by the barbarian king. And then the plan was, they would kind of clean that out. They would pop if there's a double giant bomb set there. Here, they would take care of that. Then I was going to have a jump spell that was right here. That would allow golem and barbarian king to get into this area to take out potential double giant bombs either here or here. From there, the plan was the hogs, and we'll kind of remove some of this so we can see a little bit better, and then talk about the pathing. The plan then was for the hogs, and I was going to kind of feed them in like this direction. I was going to kind of do a wall of hogs. And the reason was I was hoping that I was going to get a few hogs that ended up on this expo, some of this air defense. These would kind of go down like this. And the most important was, because if there's a double giant bomb set here, I've got to make sure I get some hogs that kind of come down this direction. Because as long as they do that, they'll hit one of the giant bombs before they hit both of them, which means I can put a heal here and take care of it. The worst thing that can happen, and this is actually what does happen because these defenses go down quicker than I thought, is that I don't want hogs pathing this way, because if they go from cross expo here to cannon, I'm going to make bacon, which is actually what happens in the raid. But luckily I've got enough of them that are down this direction, I end up being okay. But plan then finally for the heals. I was going to have a heal probably here. Some of this was dependent on where I hit giant bombs. If I'd have hit one here, then I needed to drop a heal here. I was going to need a heal probably down here. I was assuming this is probably the most logical. I was actually thinking here and here were going to be the giant bombs, or here and here were going to be the giant bombs. That ends up not being the case, and that left me one more, which I could have done. There's point defenses down here, maybe down here or over here, depending on where I needed it. But unfortunately, none of this goes really actually as I had planned. Execution wasn't exactly like I wanted. But as I said, luckily the heroes pushed me through here, and we will watch the replay, and I'll show you what went well and what did not go well. So initial plan works well. I send 1 giant in, followed by 3 hogs, and a Tesla pops. So this actually goes really well. The Tesla pops down and does exactly what I want, though. I get a couple hogs that path forward, and I hit the first of the potential double giant bomb sets. So I'm assuming there's another one here. Over here, though, I completely screwed up. You see, I've got a giant. I just forgot to send the giant. I sent 4 hogs instead of a giant and 3 hogs. So what that ends up causing it does is this wizard tower goes down. I don't get any of them that path up this direction, so I haven't really cleared this spot. But more importantly, I don't get the full clan castle pull because they die too early, and I shouldn't have wasted my giant. I spammed it. I don't know what I was thinking. So you can see I don't have the full clan castle pull. I've got 3 wizards and a few archers, so the rest, there's still stuff in there. So I have to go ahead and send an archer to kind of drag the clan castle troops away, and then I send in 2 more hogs to try to get the rest of the pull. So luckily hog kind of pass up, and I get the final bit of the pull. Another wizard, another witch, I've got the full pull. So I get my barbarians down, I get my witches staggered, archer queen, and wizards. Normally I like to kind of see how this is going in case I need to feed another wizard in, but unfortunately I'm out of time. I'm already down to a minute into this raid, and I still don't have, normally you want your hogs down within the first minute, so I'm way behind. So as soon as this all goes down, I got to start with the golem. So I send the golem in, wizard to break the trash ring, wizard to break the trash ring, wall breakers go in, and then barbarian king immediately down. So golem goes in, barbarian king has to take out this gold mine here. Luckily that wizard's going to help out a little bit. Once it goes down, everything's going in. Then I can throw my jump spell down. No double giant bomb set there, so so far I'm still betting that they're kind of these middle areas. But we get everything kind of pathing through. You're going to see I get a Tesla pop, so it's definitely not here. Barbarian king kind of jumps over. I get another Tesla popped here, so this is a really good possibility. So my goal is, you can see I even got some that pathed way over here, because that means if I can get them to kind of take out this. Luckily, this expo is going to go down pretty quick, so it's really not going to be very possible once the expo's down for these things to path over. They're going to kind of go straight down. But all of these kind of end up, and I guess I didn't plan that. I thought if I threw far enough over here, they would go this direction. But you can see they all actually go to this archer tower, and then they don't get far enough over. They go from the air defense, and then from the air defense, they actually all path this way. I've got a heal already down, though, for this other giant bomb. They're kind of moving down from here, and I realize I am screwed. I'm about to make just a ton of bacon as I get a bunch of hogs that are going to get over both of these. So luckily, I get a few hogs that split down to the bottom here, because all of these hogs are going to end up dying. You can see they run through double giant bomb, nothing you can do there. I've got 1 heal left, though. I've got a fairly good group down here, so I get my last heal down. And right now, I still got about 8 hogs, though, and luckily the barbarian king's already down. Skellies are already down, so really this is it. I've got 4 hogs, it looks like. Air defense is down, cannon's down, archer queen helps me take out the cannon. I've got 4 hogs left to kind of clean up. I had a couple wizards that I brought for cleanup at the end, and this is actually cleanup. So this went okay. If I hadn't had a level 29 barbarian king and a level 30 archer queen, no way I would have gotten a 3-star in that. But luckily it's kind of worked out. Bombs weren't where I expected them, but the planning, I think, was sound. Everything kind of worked well, except that I didn't get hogs to path over this direction to hit over here like I was hoping. But otherwise, I was pretty happy with the attack, minus the execution. If I'd have got that giant down there, I'd have had an additional 3 hogs that I wasted on the pull that I wouldn't have had to use. But I hope this was helpful. If there's any questions or comments, please leave them below. Or if you see something that I should have done better, I'd love to hear your comments. So thank you again for watching, and we will have a war recap up here shortly. This was an awesome war so far, so look forward to putting it up. Thanks again.